what we have to recognize is well-being strategies, well-being programs, whatever you call them, they don't operate in isolation. They always operate in the context of a business's culture. And it's that culture that drives people's behaviors, and it's the leadership of that organization that drives the culture. Yeah. So if our business leaders never switch off, using the previous example, what they're doing is actually signaling that they don't really buy into well-being, and that will have a trickle-down effect. It impacts the success of the program you're trying to put on. So what we really need for well-being strategies, interventions to be a real success is that the senior leaders have got to be real advocates, and that's difficult for an awful lot of us on this call at the moment, because we've got an influencing job to do upwards, haven't we, to make that happen. But one of the most important things from a practical point of view that senior managers and managers at all levels for that point can do is provide a level of what we call health leadership. And one of the easiest and most effective ways of doing that is through what we call role modeling. So by that I mean, as managers, and everybody on this call is probably a manager, we have to be aware that we cast a shadow as a leader, and that shadow signals to our teams what we believe is acceptable and unacceptable behavior, and that has a huge influence on our team's behavior themselves. So we can practically set really, really good examples that our teams will just generally tend to follow. So for example, if we're seen to be, I'll use the word seen, all right, if we're seen to be working reasonable hours, taking breaks, being fully engaged when we're in meetings, using your example, Rob, in terms of encouraging team members to create those boundaries between work and home life, then suddenly that culture is developing, and it's being supportive, and it's conducive to good well-being, and people will follow and track those behaviours. So that's probably the most effective thing, practical thing any of us as leaders on this call can do.